Imagine you're trapped inside of a maze, right? And you're standing in front of 10 different doors. Now, one of these doors lets you advance through, but the other 9, you just failed the maze immediately. Okay, now imagine a guy walks up and he's already been through this maze like 100 times, right? You look at him and you say, hey man, which door do I open? Give me a hint or something. And he looks just completely deadpan at you and says, don't worry about it, bro. Just think of your favorite color. And then he turns around and walks away. You probably look at this guy and think, yo, this dude straight up lost his mind, right? Because to you, it sounds like just complete nonsense. What do you mean, think of my favorite color? Bro, I need to open the doors. But to him, he's actually trying to give you a tip. See, he has access to information you don't have. So to you, he sounds completely out of touch. But to him, he's like, bro, I literally just gave you, the biggest hint anyone could give you. This is what I call the expert disconnect. So you guys may have seen before. It is the massive invisible wall that sits between someone who's new at something and someone who has been doing it for years or, decades, or basically an expert at it. So if you've ever gotten advice that just felt completely useless, or had a boss tell you that you're being lazy as hell while you were sitting here working as hard as you can, you've probably experienced the exact same thing. Now, I believe that this concept is why some of the best performers, best athletes or musicians in the world sometimes will make the absolute worst teachers, and you'll see them fail at being a teacher or being a coach. The way I like to think about it is like this, right? I always think about Tom Brady trying to teach a random dude off the street how to play quarterback. And I imagine, what if Brady says, okay, first step, bro, grab the ball off the ground. You're going to throw it to that guy standing right there, right? He's just going to stand still, grab the ball, throw it right to him. It's easy. Step 1, throw the ball. You grab the football, you throw it, and it just looks like straight ass, right? You just threw a duck. It goes 5 yards. It's flailing through the air, getting caught in the wind. It just wobbles around. It looks like trash, right? And then Tom Brady looks at you and is like, come on, bro. It's not really that hard. Just do this. He grabs a ball and just rips a perfectly tight spiral 40 yards down the field, hits the receiver square in the chest. Now look, in that moment, in that hypothetical, Tom Brady's not trying to be an asshole, right? In his brain, he is literally just throwing the ball. It's one step. You just grab the ball, you throw it. But what he's not realizing, and again, this is a hypothetical. Tom Brady's probably an amazing coach. I don't know. But in this hypothetical that I created, right? What he isn't breaking down are the thousands of hours that he spent building up muscle memory. So to a novice, throwing the ball is not just one step, right? It's a huge synchronized chain of events. So the novice has to think about where your heels and the balls of your feet are planted, their rotation in the dirt or the turf. What is the knee and hip rotation? What is the mid-torso torque going to be like? What about the shoulder and chest alignment? Are you throwing with an open chest or a closed chest? What about the wrist rotation and the grip on the ball? Are you going to have a C clamp? Or are you going to have a U clamp? But to Tom Brady, all that stuff happens in a microsecond in autopilot, right? His eyes see the receiver, his body automatically makes the adjustment, his subconscious basically takes over. So whenever you fail at step 1 of just throw the ball, Tom Brady may think you're not even trying, but in reality, this dude has just completely lost touch with what it feels like not to know how to throw, you know what I mean? But the interesting thing is that this is not just about sports, because this happens in the workplace every single day. It may even happen in your workplace. So listen to this. Recently, my boss pulled my whole team into a room, right? And told us that we needed to basically stop being lazy and just suck it up to finish this specific task. This task that we kind of all make mistakes on, we all do pretty poorly on. It's probably the worst task in my entire job, right? So to try to relate to us, the boss said, look, I know it sucks. I have to do it too. And when I do it, it takes me 4 hours. I waste half of a day just doing this one task. So don't think I'm just barking orders. I feel y'all's pain. The difference is I've just accepted it. I know it's going to suck and I just grin and bear it and, knock it out. So let me tell you what the task is, because you may be thinking, dang, the boss takes 4 hours. Yeah, you probably should too. Let me tell you what the task is. We had to read roughly 2,000 legal clauses and cross-reference them one by one against another document to verify if they applied or not. Now, here's the disconnect. For an untrained brain, processing 2,000 legal clauses in dense legal jargon, bro, that's going to take me at least a week, if not multiple weeks. But for my boss, who has probably spent 20 to 30 years looking at these documents, reading this legal jargon, their brain is not actually reading word for word like ours is, right? They've developed basically an automatic pattern recognition that really works in the subconscious, like I was saying, Tom Brady. Their brain basically serves as like a Control F function on the computer, right? They can just skim through these things, pick out buzzwords and immediately their brain makes connections and they're like, oh, that one's not applicable, skip that. While to someone like me, I'm like, no, what do you mean it's not applicable? I got to go read it, then I got to go do all this, then do this, then do this. I have like a 7-step process per clause, per legal clause, right? So then whenever they say to us, oh, it only takes me 4 hours, they think they're showing empathy. But see, in reality, what they're actually doing is they're expecting a novice to match the speed of a veteran without even giving us, the time to grow or flourish like they had. So then what happens? Well, the whole team, we try to go as fast as the boss. So then we start to skim read, but then skim reading leads to missed details. And then missed details slow down the process because then the boss has to, go over our work. And then they're over here like, yo, I found 17 mistakes you made. And then they're over here pulling us in the room, calling us lazy, basically. Now, I did look this up, right? It is a real thing. As psychologists, they call it the curse of knowledge. Now, they say that once you know something, it's almost impossible to remember what it was like not knowing it. So whenever an expert gives advice that sounds extremely abstract or completely useless, like the earlier example of the doors, just remember your favorite color, it's usually not because they're trying to gatekeep information from you. It's because their brain has turned the first 10 steps, the 10 difficult ass steps, their brain has turned that into a quick 1-step thing. So to them, they just remember, oh, my favorite color. Not realizing, bro, they had to, there are 10 things that they're thinking about that gets them to that favorite color. So I just wanted to make this video to say, next time someone tells you, yo, it's easy, bro, just pick up the ball and throw it, or gives you advice that sounds completely disconnected from reality, remember the maze with the doors. Remember Tom Brady. Remember the 2,000 legal clauses that I'm supposed to cross-reference in only 4 hours. The experts are not necessarily wrong. They just forgot how many doors they had to go through to get to this point, and that you've never even done this maze before.